Thank you very much for taking the time. We now move on, and President Donald Trump has unveiled the founding members of the Gaza so-called Board of Peace, which is a body expected to be overseeing Gaza's transition in the wake of the ongoing conflict. Among the 7 individuals named to the board are US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, former British Prime Minister Tony Blair, Trump's Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, son-in-law Jared Kushner, and World Bank President Gaza Banga. Moreover, Trump himself will chair the board, which is set to grow to 15 members. He called it, quote, the greatest and most prestigious board ever assembled. And the board's responsibilities will include managing Gaza's transitional government and forming an international stabilization force to maintain order. US Major General Jasper Jeffers has been tapped to lead the International Stabilization Force, and the creation of this board comes shortly after the announcement of a 15-member Palestinian Technocratic Committee, which will oversee Gaza's day-to-day governance. This is all part of Trump's broader peace plan, which began with a ceasefire agreement back in October 2025. While the ceasefire has faced accusations of violations from both sides, the peace plan's second phase is now underway, aiming for a stable future in Gaza. Joining us now is Shruti Dasgupta. She's an international affairs analyst. She joins us live from New Delhi. Shruti, thank you very much for joining us. Let's first of all go through the members of this peace Board of Peace. Shruti, we don't have the full board yet, however, some key individuals. Of course, we've got Donald Trump as the board chair. We've got Tony Blair, the former UK Prime Minister, who led the United Kingdom into Iraq in 2003. We've got the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. We have Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, and one of the main Middle East envoys, who of course pushed to the end of that Gaza deal. We've got Steve Witkoff, the former real estate tycoon and new Trump Middle East envoy, and we've got Gaza Banga, the World Bank president, who some critics will question mixing these private sector leaders with geopolitics might bring some problems. Shruti, what is your analysis on some of these members that we have been told about now?
Well, good morning to you and your viewers, Thomas. What I understand is that the Board of Peace sounds more like a Board of Pacification, which is going to sell a modern city as a marvel of the new world kind of scenario to Gazans, or at least to the world in the name of Gazans. And they're going to even though the Riviera concept has been debunked in many ways, in many words, the construct of the board seems to resemble a board which is going to do real estate development of Gaza. So this is exactly what the Board of Peace is doing. They're taking Gaza as a piece of land to develop, to modernize, to showcase. And this has nothing to do with the internal dynamics or geopolitics or concerns or radicalization of Gaza in totality. So basically, US and Israel have decided that Gaza is a prime piece of land, and Tony Blair, who is in most Arab nations considered a war criminal for what he did with Iraq, and Trump is a man of his own. And Kushner is simply a businessman who is related to both Netanyahu as well as Trump, are part of this entire deal. This is just a giant board of real estate agency, which is being called the Board of Peace under the hands of USA. For me, it does not show that this particular board would change anything out in Gaza, would try and work for the benefit of Gazans. They're just going to use that piece of land to showcase Gaza as a prime piece of real estate.
And as you've mentioned, some see this as advancing Western or US strategic influence rather than a grassroots peace. Of course, as you mentioned, the Riviera plan. Any idea about how that these individuals will negotiate and plan to move Gaza forward in the current state, which of course it is in, where 80% of the territory has been destroyed?
Well, they're just going to clear out the rubble and start building things, sell it out, which is where the World Bank comes in. They're going to give a lot of loans to Gazans. They have, they have, instead of the Palestinian Authority, they have constituted a new board, NCAG, I believe it is called, and they are going, that is an apolitical, technocratic board that is going to only focus on industrialization and modernization of that strip of land. So this is what they are planning to do. They're going to set up industries, the loan goes to Gazans. They're going to set up real estate, the loans goes to Gazans. They're going to be buried in loans. So the economy of that place is going to pay for its development while the pieces are auctioned off to whoever is going to get the most benefit out of it. Mind you, it's a resource-rich region. It's as such, it has, if I'm not wrong, although I've not done a very deep think on it, I do remember reading that it does have possibility of oil also in those shores. Pardon me. And beyond that, I also understand that it's a shore, so shipping is important. It's a good shipping route. It helps secure Israel in a way that never before. They are, of course, wanting to call it demilitarization, disconnection of Hamas. They have, of course, on paper as well as in the 20 peace point plan said that no Gazans will be moved out. But if there is a development model which is completely based on industry and real estate going to be developed, where are the poor Gazans going to be put up? Probably in some tall buildings, shackled together in a beehive format, while the prime piece of real estate is going to be showcased, sold to major conglomerates. Businesses are going to be set up there. And these Gazans are going to bear the brunt of the loans that IMF and World Bank is going to give to ensure that this development that looks good optically but does nothing for ground up change is going to be put in force.
Shruti Dasgupta, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure talking to you. We now move on and finish this hour